Welcome to the Money Watch Show. It's Sunday, March 23rd, and we are here talking about your financial life, your financial building blocks. We're going deep with you, and we are going to help you figure out how to navigate your financial journey. The we is me, Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner, and he is Mark Talercio, my executive producer and also a certified financial planner. And Mark, do you know why March 23rd is an important date?
March 20, is it the anniversary of something?
Of course. And I wish I didn't have this messing with my head, all these like weird milestones. March 23rd was the bear market low during COVID 5 years ago. It was when stocks and the indexes all bottomed out. Not that we knew it at the time, but that's a pretty scary time. And that was how we ended up that was like our first full week, our second full week, Mark, of going 5 days a week.
Hard to believe it's been 5 full years.
I know. All of those COVID, sort of pieces, those long form pieces. I thought that the one that was very interesting that I read was like, it is true that it feels like it was yesterday, but then you really want to kind of drown it out because it's exhausting to think about that time. And it's kind of like, who wants to go to the bad old days, right? Put one foot forward. But there are a lot of instructive things to learn by going back to times of crisis. So that's why I tend to mark these things. So for example, on March 23rd of 2020, it looked like markets were just like done rolling over. And then by the end of the year, things were clawing back. And 21 was a good year. 22 was a bad year. 23 was a good year. 24 was a good year. So far this year, not such a good year. So it is instructive. And if you don't take it all in one day at a time and react to, the big ups, the big downs, you're probably better off. But Mark, we have been getting people who are a little worried about where things stand, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of panic in the air out there for sure.
Well, that's why everybody should go to the website, jillonmoney.com, because what I did, it was very lucky. Sometimes I get lucky instead of being very smart. But I was trying to come up with a blog post as I was thinking about the jobs report that was released in the first week of March and about how it was kind of past history. Just so you guys remember this, a jobs report, it's a snapshot in time. And the labor market, the labor department has these two surveys. This is what a job report is. It's basically going to households and saying, who's looking for a job, who has a job? And it's going to businesses. Did you hire? Did you lay off? And the jobs report for the month of February was actually pretty good because it was basically, it's the first 2 weeks of the month. It's like February 12th. By the 12th of the month is where the reference period ends. And then after that, we have, of course, had federal job cuts. We had a lot of people, a lot of industries and even small businesses kind of sitting on their plans to hire because the on again, off again tariffs. And there's a lot of uncertainty. So I think the next bunch of jobs reports could be showing a little bit of softness in the labor market. But I was then thinking like, well, with all this stuff swirling around, people are getting a little good on anxious. And so I put together I updated rather my panic protection plan. Now, Mark, in the blog post, did you notice I said that I first trotted it out in 2008 for the financial crisis? I actually found evidence that I trotted it out before then. Do you know when?
When?
You're going to love this. In the year 2000. I actually went to my old records when I used to be a financial planner, and I found a letter that I wrote to our then clients. And I don't think I called it the panic protection plan, but I think I called it something like, here's your antidote to your worry or something like that. Because you don't like to use the word panic if you're the investment advisor and the financial planner. So it was just about this time. Essentially, after the tech bubble had burst, and it was like March was the beginning of the sell-off in 2025 years ago, Mark. We've been panicking for at least 25 years and then some. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good thing you've kept it handy because, as you just said, every few years you need to whip it out.
Exactly. And so, listen, I know people are unnerved. If you are finding yourself unnerved or you just want to know where to start, this is the program for you, and we are the folks for you. You go to our website, jillonmoney.com. You click the contact us button, you write us a note, and if you'd like to join us live, check the box. Mark will do everything else. He's the best. So while you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday, an excellent warm-up for this program. So Let us go to someone who is a little bit overwrought, not because of markets, because he just has too many kids who are not sleeping. Craig is on the line with us from Idaho. Craig, how many kids are there?
We got two-year-old, 1-year-old, and one on the way.
Stop it. Stop it. You're a glutton, man.
I know.
That's a lot. So not a lot of sleep. I mean, it's only going to last for like, what, 6 more years?
Yeah,
or so, right?
don't remind me.
What brings you to us? What's going on,
Well,
man? How can
well,
we
I
help?
started my career a little bit later in 2017. I'm 44, and I've kind of been back and forth on financial strategies and really want to make sure I'm focused moving forward. So I'm kind of set up during retirement, and I just wanted to run the numbers with you and see what your thoughts are.
All right. So, Craig, you're 44. Your wife is how old?
33.
Okay. And wait, so we'll have 4 kids, let's just say, right? There will be 4?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, 4 kids. You started your career later. What are you both working? I mean, oh my God, she has 4 kids and she just can't stop. Is she working out of the house?
So she works 1 to 2 days a week, and then I work full time.
Okay. How much do you guys earn together?
We're probably around 500,000 a
Wow.
year.
What? Wait a second. Hold on a second. What do you mean you got a career? Are you a doctor?
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. There we go. All that training paid off. Do you have a lucrative subspecialty?
I mean, not really. If I work a lot, it's lucrative.
Okay. This is interesting because you're a high earner, but I think anyone who's in this profession, in the healthcare profession, when you have a late start, you got to get the game plan together, right?
Exactly.
So let's build your game plan for you guys. So, Craig, are you part of a practice? Do you have a retirement plan, or are you a sole practitioner?
So I was part of a large practice, and we had a really good employer contribution to a retirement plan, a 401k. I'm now self-employed. I have a solo 401k for both myself and my wife.
Okay. Is she also a doctor or in healthcare?
She is. Yeah, she's a doctor of physical therapy. I have my own self-employed staffing company, and I employed her, so we both have 401ks through our self-employment.
Okay, that's very smart. How much money is in the old practices plan, or did you roll it over to the new 401, the solo 401k?
I rolled it at that time. When I left, I had about 500,000 in there, and I rolled it over, but I used almost all of it for a business venture.
I'm worried for you right now. Is the business venture your own venture?
I had some partners. It went really well. I got my money back out.
Oh my God, I'm sweating this out, and you're already back in the money. So did you take the money out as a distribution? Did you pay tax on it, and now that money's outside?
I paid penalty and tax. Yeah.
Wow. All right. So what is the amount of money that's outside of retirement right now?
So in cash?
Yeah.
Well, I'm zero right now because I used that money to buy some property.
Oh my God, you can't stop yourself. Okay. You put 500 into the venture. How much did you get out?
Yeah, 550.
Okay. So you got the money out, and then, all right, so let me make sure I understand this. Take the money out, you pay the penalty. You got your money back, thank God.
Yes.
Now, the money that's in the let's go back to the solo 401ks. How much money is in there now?
Okay, so we got 200,000 in our solo 401k.
Each
combined.
Or together? Oh, combined. Okay, got it. Okay.
I got 10,000 in a brokerage, and I have 10,000 in a 529 for the kids.
Okay. And the money that you got out from I paid the tax, I paid the penalty, got the money out. Now you have reinvested that money in real estate. Is that right?
Yeah. So we kept our first house, and we bought another house for our family to live in. So I used that money for a down payment.
Okay. The first house, which is now rental property?
Correct.
What's that worth?
It's probably I could probably sell it today for $750,000.
Okay. And what's the mortgage that's outstanding?
$310,000 in the mortgage, and then I took a HELOC, so I got another $200,000 in a HELOC on that.
Okay.
Property.
The first mortgage, what is the interest rate?
2.75.
Like that one. Okay. The HELOC, where is that right now?
It's not good. It's 200,000 at 10%.
Oof. Okay. Now, dream house. You're in your Barbie dream house, right?
Yeah, we're good. I mean, we're very happy.
Okay. How much is that worth?
We just bought it last year, so I paid 1.25 for it, and it's probably worth, we got a pretty good deal, maybe 1.4.
But you're not selling it. You're in it.
No, it's yeah, we'll be here for a while.
Okay. And what's the mortgage that's outstanding on that house?
Oh, 995.
You are levered up, man. What's the interest rate on that mortgage?
625.
How's the cash flow right now?
Well, we do have two other properties.
What? All right,
And
let's go.
this is why I called you, because I needed some direction.
Okay.
So we have another house that I owe about $1 million on.
What is the house worth?
Probably 4
million?
Yeah, I built it. I got pretty fortunate on that house.
Why are we not living in that house?
Well, I built that for myself before I met my wife and my parents. It's kind of a compound. We have a guest house and a few things, but things changed when I met my wife, so she wasn't keen on living there, which I understand. So my parents currently live there now.
Are they paying for the expenses?
No.
Are they not wealthy?
No.
So we can't kick them out. Can we make them move into your rental house? Your 750 house or not?
No, my goal is it's kind of been my goal, and it's important to me to keep them there.
You people.
We still have another property.
All right, let's see here. Let me hear number 2. Property number 2.
Or property number 4. Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah, property number 4. Sorry. Right.
So we live in a destination area.
Yes.
And I really try to take advantage of that. So the next property we bought just bare land up on the ski mountain, probably worth about $380. I owe $266 on it.
Okay, but what are we doing with that? Nothing.
So
really.
I don't know. It's kind of an investment piece. They're expanding, and I think it's going to be fairly lucrative in the future, according to the expansion plans of the mountain. So we're just going to sit on that. I don't really have any financial ability to build or do anything right now, so I'm just going to sit on that one.
Are there any other houses that you're hiding from us?
No, that's all I got.
Okay, so Mark, are you on board with this game plan where we have 4 pieces of property, we're over leveraged, and he does make a lot of money? But you got a lot of money, but there's not a lot of money coming in. The most valuable house, your parents live in there, they're not paying for it, you're paying for it, right?
Correct. I do rent the guest house out during the summer.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. So
but
what's the rent on that?
It's not a ton of money. Yeah.
Right. Can your parents afford to pay anything for this? Like just some portion? They would have to pay something somewhere along the way if they own their own property or rented somewhere. No?
Yeah, no, I think that's
all right. Forget it. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. I'm done even suggesting that. Okay. What about the first house, the $750,000 house with the good first mortgage, the crappy HELOC? Is that generating rental income for you?
It's not cash flowing. It's close.
Okay.
It would, if I didn't have the HELOC, it would cash flow probably.
Of course.
$2,000 a month. Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. So, but I'm hearing from you that I can't sell the house, the $4 million house, right? That's off the table.
Yeah. This is really why I'm calling, because I had it up for sale and I was going to sell it. And my strategy was, be financially free. I wouldn't have had any bills at that point, kind of cut back on work, and, work-life balance would have been great, but we didn't sell it. And now I'm thinking, maximum leverage, fixed assets, and roll that for the next 10 to 20 years and see what happens.
Mark, what do you think of that plan?
I mean, I would love to sell it and just wipe the table clean,
Me too. I mean, I just think, there's just so much money in real estate right now. It just feels like there's
take it and run.
At some point you've got to make a decision. Like you have like one bet that's on the table, which is real estate, right? And you have the smaller bet, which is, okay, investment assets like normal in your solo 401ks.
And we still we still probably put anywhere from 70 to 90,000 a year in 401k contribution.
Yeah, that's awesome because you're doing 401k and a profit sharing, right? Both. So the problem though is that, you got these 4 kids. I don't know how important is the 529 funding for you because you just don't have a lot of money in college funds yet. I feel like you're operating under this high pressure, but that high pressure is self-imposed because of all the real estate. in my like hope for you, it would be, if you want to keep the land on the mountain, doesn't seem to be like that. That's not the big hit, the big payoff.
Can't we downsize the parents?
Exactly what I was going to say. Can we take the
We
parents
could.
and then say, instead of being in a $4 million house, can they be in $1 million house
And that's
and you
kind of
just
why I
own it
kept,
outright?
yeah, that's kind of why I kept I mean, it's not lavish. They're not lavish lifestyle or anything like that.
No,
That's
no,
why I
I
kept
get you.
that's why I kept the rental house, because it's in town. It's flat. It's one
Well, then
level.
I say, how old are your parents?
No, 72.
All right. Well, this is what I would do. I would sell this property like as fast as I could. I would get rid of your parents living in this house. I would have this $3 million gain, which you're going to have to pay capital gains on, but so whatever. You pay some money. Let's just say you cleared $2.5 million. Okay. Now they move into the rental house, the 750 house. From your $2.5 million, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to pay off the HELOC, right? So now
Correct.
I got 2.3 million. What's the interest rate on the mortgage against the land on the mountain?
It's not good either. It's 8.9.
Okay, I would pay those two off. So I would say what I would do is I would take $2.5 million that you would net from the property that they're in. I'd pay off the HELOC. I'd pay off the land loan, and then you're golden. Okay, so now you got $2 million. Of that $2 million, what you could do is you could basically seed 4 529 plans. You could just put a chunk of money in, boom, get it done. Just like put a bunch of money in there, and then I would put the rest of the money in the brokerage account, and I would keep doing and then I would monitor my cash flow and really see then you're starting to max out your solo 401ks. You've got your brokerage account cooking, and we have you a little bit more, I think, appropriately diversified, given the fact that, you got a lot of money, but that like, you don't have this huge real estate bet on. It's like we got, so there, when I talk to people about like, okay, we're just going to start your financial plan. What are we trying to do? We're like, what are your priorities? So Craig, if we look at like what your priorities are, then the priorities go something like this. Okay, well, I want to make sure that I am affording the house that I bought for our family. I'm taking care of me, my wife, my 4 kids. I'm putting away money for retirement. I'm making sure my parents have a place to live that is comfortable for them, that doesn't create any stress. And you're now looking at a 20-year time horizon where life's great. You got cash flow. You've made your life easier. Mark, what do you think about that as a game plan?
That is the game plan. I mean, that property is kind of like, his get out of jail free card. He's made a ton of money on that property. Take advantage of it.
Because if it just sits there as a house and your parents stay there. First of all, I also want to say that when you have families that are aging, it's a lot easier to move them around when they're 70 as opposed to when they're 80.
I
And
agree.
every year brings something new. Just ask me. I have an 85-year-old mother, and Mark's mother just going through her own stuff. So like, while things are good and everyone's healthy, like, let's make this move. If you can get your wife on board with this, and if your parents are on board with this, I really wouldn't hesitate. We know that there's capital gains to be paid, but we also know that capital gains rates are not that bad. They're pretty good. And we can like really lighten this load of just like, you don't have to worry about like, oh, I got to refinance this or that. You got your game plan. It's almost like, are you a gambler at all?
I can take a little bit of risk for sure.
Okay. Sometimes I watch people, I like to observe people in a casino, not because I'm a big gambler, but I like statistics. And I can watch people and I can say like, oh my God, they're so stupid. The statistics around this are like, that was the wrong bet based on the statistics, like, probability wise, right?
Right.
I look at your situation. You took the risk. The bet pays off, but you're unwilling to take some chips off the table.
Right. That makes sense.
Let me just ask a few of the other detailed questions.
Sure.
For example, do you guys have your life insurance and estate planning needs met?
I have life insurance. I've had that for a while. And then I need to do some estate planning. I haven't. And that's been on my radar for quite some time now. I need to find time to do that.
Okay, fantastic. You know what you can do? You can sell this property, you can start the process, and we can do your estate planning. An estate attorney will be so happy if you have some liquidity. I think you're in great shape, Craig. You are. It's a funny thing, like all the different choices that you've made are kind of like in the moment. I would have been like the fraidy cat older sister. I'd be like, wait, Craig, don't do it. But I mean, things have worked out really well. They really have. You've done an incredible job. Like you said, like, oh, I got lucky. I built this house and it like ballooned up in value, or I did this
Yeah,
and it worked out,
pretty
right?
fortunate.
Right. I pulled my money out of my retirement account. I paid a fee to get out. I got my money back. Also, fortunate. Why are we tempting fate? You are in very good shape. Let's take advantage of that. And now let's build your financial plan.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Are you in? Do you feel good about it? You're a little scared. It's all right.
Yeah, I've been there. I was there a couple of years ago with this whole thing, and that was kind of my goal. But then I just thought of income as it's going to be hard for me to work at my current pace, and especially into later in life. So I thought, man, I'm going to need some passive income or some alternative income other than
No,
healthcare.
you know what you need? What you would need is fewer obligations. That's what you need. So then you can like pull back. So if you're working really hard and you're killing yourself, the one way that you can work less is to reduce the amount of obligations you have.
Yeah, I know. I understand. That's true.
Here's the thing. You're going to have 3 properties. And the most important thing is the house that your parents are in, there's going to be a long-term 2.75% rate on that mortgage. God, is that great? Fantastic.
Yeah, I hate, I have a friend who does real estate for a living.
Yeah.
He's like, man, you just don't want to get rid of those fixed assets. He's like,
yeah. Don't get rid of that loan. No, you're not going to get rid of it, but I'm going to get rid of that HELOC, and I'm certainly getting rid of that land loan. Those 2 things are gone. And then you have essentially your 6.25% $1 million mortgage, which whatever, you can afford it. That's fine. And then you've got your 2.75% loan on your parents' house. Done. And let's get out of this. This to me is you have taken this huge swing and you hit a triple. Now, are you going to steal home? You don't have to.
Yeah,
just stay there. We'll get you over the plate. Don't worry about it. You're going to do this easily. But if you keep piling on the risk, look, do I think that there's going to be some horrible problem? No. Do I think you could make your life nicer and a little bit less anxiety ridden? Yes. You have the ability. It's on your balance sheet. You have the assets. Aren't you lucky? Imagine if I were talking to you and you're 44 years old and you're like, well, listen, I went into surgery and then I did a subspecialty and now I'm finally making $500,000 a year and I've got $200,000 of medical school debt. We talked to a lot of people like that.
I had that debt. That's gone. Thank God.
Right? So you know that you can do it. You're a great saver. Take the pressure off, man. And then you can have a really nice life. You really can. Listen, you have 4 kids. You have no idea how many activities you're going to have to go to.
Oh, I know. And that's the other thing.
You'll be like texting me from the sidelines in the soccer game. Like, oh, thank God I'm not working because I'm in yet another soccer tournament or something nonsense, right?
That's true.
Thank you so much for getting in touch with us, Craig. And if you are like Craig and you've taken some risks, some have paid off, or if you're like Craig and like when he first graduated and you've got a whole bunch of debt, you don't even know where to start. We want to help you. By the way, the numbers were big in this story, but the ideas behind how you build a plan are exactly the way we laid it out. Like you figure out what are your goals and objectives and how you're going to try to address those goals and objectives. That's what we're doing here. We are going step by step with you. If you've got a question, go to jillonmoney.com, click the contact us button and let us know how we can help you out. Don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. And of course, check out our subscription service. It's called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars, bonus audio and video content, and the entire back catalog, all for $45 for the next 12 months. I just had my Apple TV subscription renew. It was $99. I think this might be a better deal for you. All right. Mark Talercio is the co-host, executive producer, and king of all things web here. We drop our episodes on Saturday and Sunday, and we can encourage you to subscribe to us on the Odyssey app and leave us a rating and review wherever you do actually listen to us. Put your hands metaphorically on someone's back. Poor Craig and his wife, they're not going to sleep for like 6 years, so maybe it's them. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.